Jessica Radcliffe was born in 1994 in a small fishing town along the rugged coast of Oregon. Her father was a lighthouse keeper, a man of few words who spent his nights watching over the endless, restless sea. Her mother was a marine conservationist, dedicating her life to rescuing and rehabilitating injured sea creatures. From the time she could walk, Jessica was drawn to the water. While other children played with dolls and toys, she spent hours on the shoreline collecting seashells, studying tide pools, and staring into waves as if the ocean were speaking to her in a language only she could understand. By the age of 12, she was volunteering at a local aquarium, cleaning tanks, feeding fish, and asking endless questions about marine life. Staff members noticed her unusual patience and calmness around even the largest animals. They said she had a way of moving slowly, deliberately, so the animals seemed to trust her instantly. At 18, Jessica became the youngest licensed marine behaviorist in the country. She wasn't just intelligent, she was deeply intuitive. She often claimed that the key to understanding marine life wasn't just observation, it was connection. Her life changed in 2016 when she was called to help with a rare and difficult rescue. A massive orca, later named Nyx, had been discovered in the wreckage of a sunken cargo ship in the icy Aleutian waters. The ship had been lost for decades, and no one could explain how Nyx had survived in such a place. Nyx was unlike any orca the world had seen, larger than most, with an unusual scar across its dorsal fin, and eyes that seemed almost human in their intensity. Many in the rescue team found the animal unpredictable and unapproachable, but not Jessica. From the first moment they met, Nyx swam to her side, circling her gently, watching her face. Over time, they developed a bond so strong that Nyx would respond only to her voice. She could call him from the depths of the tank with a single whistle. Researchers recorded strange vocalizations between them, patterns no other orca had been known to make. The media loved the story. Jessica became known worldwide as the Orca Whisperer. Documentaries were made about her work. Tourists traveled thousands of miles just to see Jessica and Nyx interact. It was beautiful, almost magical. But behind the scenes, some of her colleagues began to whisper about things they didn't understand. They noticed Nyx sometimes staring at Jessica for hours without moving, as though studying her. They noticed her speaking to him in low tones, almost like chanting, words no one else could identify. As the years passed, Jessica changed. She became quieter, more withdrawn. She often stayed at the facility late into the night, sometimes sleeping in a chair near the tank. On more than one occasion, night staff claimed they heard two voices in the darkness, Jessica's and Nyx's. By the summer of 2024, Jessica seemed almost inseparable from Nyx. She told one coworker that the ocean had a way of calling to those who truly listened, and that sometimes the call could not be ignored. Then came the night of September 8th. The security cameras showed Jessica entering the Ocean View Research Facility at 1:47 in the morning. She was alone. The building was dimly lit, the only illumination coming from the blue glow of Nyx's massive tank. She walked directly toward the water, moving with slow, deliberate steps. She leaned over the edge, resting her hand on the surface. Nyx rose from the depths and stopped in front of her. For a long moment, they simply stared at each other. Then their foreheads touched like an unspoken farewell. Without warning, Jessica slid into the water. Nyx followed instantly. There was no splashing, no sign of distress on the footage. Just two figures disappearing into the dark. Minutes passed. Then the surface of the water rippled. A sudden thrash. A muffled, distorted cry. Facility alarms began to sound. Staff rushed in to find Jessica floating near the surface, motionless. They pulled her from the tank and called emergency services immediately. Witnesses say her skin was pale and cold, her lips blue, but her eyes were wide open, as if frozen in shock. She was rushed to the hospital, but despite the doctor's efforts, Jessica Radcliffe was pronounced dead on arrival. She never returned alive again. Nyx's lifeless body was recovered soon after. It was perfectly intact, except for one horrific detail. Both of the orca's eyes were missing. The water inside the tank was no longer clear. It was stained with a thick, black substance. It was not blood. It was not ink. Laboratory tests could not identify it. An anonymous source in the hospital revealed that Jessica's body showed signs of deep-sea pressure trauma, the kind of injuries found in divers who descend thousands of feet below the surface. But this was impossible. The tank was shallow. Within a week, the Ocean View Research Facility shut down permanently. The main tank was drained, yet the strange black residue returned over and over, no matter how many times it was scrubbed clean. Local fishermen began avoiding the waters near the facility. Some claimed they heard singing from inside the abandoned building at night. Others swore they saw ripples moving across the drained tank floor, as if something beneath the concrete was still alive. To this day, when the wind blows in from the ocean, some people say you can hear Jessica's voice in the distance, soft, calm, almost calling. And if you stand long enough by the shore and truly listen, a second voice answers, deep, slow, rising from far below.